Conor, great to talk to you. I guess you must be a bit jet lagged, buddy. First of all, just tell us about the last week of your life in terms of travel and logistics.
Well, it wasn't too bad, but definitely a lot of traveling. I went over to England on the 11th of February and got kind of used to the time zone for 2 days, and then went to France on Monday the 13th, I believe, and made my seat with the Lotus GP guys, formerly ART, and then kind of just hung out for a week, and then we tested just on the last Tuesday and Wednesday in Estoril, and it was great. It was really good to get back in the car. It's always nice after the winter to come back and get back in the seat. And I really enjoyed it. Working with that team was really great, and overall it went quite well, and we were really quick. So I was quite pleased with that.
Yeah, I mean, you just looking back at 2011, you finished the year really well. You're actually quickest in one of the tests right at the end of last year as well, I think.
hmm
Great way to go into the winter. Just tell us a little bit about that test and then preparing for the winter and what you got up to over the winter.
Yeah, well, I mean, GP3 has some good test days for a lot of the drivers to kind of evaluate what's going to happen next year, and for a lot of the drivers like myself who want to compete in a second year. And yeah, went really well. We were quickest on one of the days, and it was a good way to kind of finish the season because the racing season itself was finished quite unfortunately with being taken out in our best position of the season. So it was good to kind of get to the testing and get some work done, and then over the winter really it was all just kind of trying to put together this season. It took a while. It was definitely a long winter, and I've never kind of gone through a winter with as much very technical negotiations going on. I know my dad was very heavily involved and very busy every day, and still is really. And it was good though. I was able to kind of away from the racing business, was good to kind of hang out with my family over the Christmas and holidays, and yeah, just focus on training and being ready for this test last week, and I felt very prepared, and it went quite well. So it was a really good starting point to begin the testing. I mean, we don't race for a long time, but at least we've got another 4 days of testing to come over the next 2 months.
Conor, last year you split your time between Indy Lights and GP3. I'm assuming this year you're focusing 100% on GP3 in Europe. And in that case, how are you going to manage your life in terms of traveling up and down or staying in Europe?
Well, yeah, for sure this year the goal is to be GP3, just full concentration. Um, but who knows? Since there's only 4 test days in the next 2 months, and they're 2 and 2, if there somehow was a deal for me to do an Indy Lights race, I wouldn't really mind doing it. I don't think it's not quite as busy. Last year the testing was 3 days and 3 days, so it kind of stretched out the travel. Now things are a little bit more spread out, but if none of the Indy Lights stuff gets, if that's not possible, I'm not really too concerned about it because Europe is the main focus. So I think our next 2 test days are in March, March 12 and 13, I believe, and I think I'll go over for that, and I'll probably come back home afterwards because there's just over a month between the next test. So I could probably get a little bit more done on securing everything for the year and making sure I've got everything I need to go over then for April, because in April we have a Silverstone test, the final preseason test, and then as soon as that's over, I'll be basically living in England through the rest of the summer for the season. So I'm looking forward to it all just getting started, but it'll all be a slow process over the next couple of months, I'm sure.
Conor, it looks like whenever you get in the car now, you're basically on the pace. And obviously there are some sessions where maybe you're trying things and it's not reflected in the times or whatever. But how would you, if you had to describe the Conor Daly now compared with 12 months ago as a driver able to get in a GP3 car and go quickly? How would you say your driving has changed or developed?
That's an interesting question um, because I do feel quite a bit different. And it's not necessarily that I'm driving a lot differently, but last year, going into last season, there was a lot of kind of just it just was unsure. Just it was a whole new environment for me. Everything was new: tracks, culture, team, everything. And I was ready to go, ready to race. But it was just kind of one of those things where you maybe didn't quite have as much confidence because you hadn't been in that environment before. But now after such a kind of a very progressive learning curve in GP3 in 2011, by the end of the season we were right up at the top three and fighting for the win. That kind of really boosted my confidence and really just kind of made me, it gave me the assurance that I could do it. I could hang with these guys, the best drivers in Europe, kind of included me as well. So I think now, and it almost feels the same way as when I went into my second year of Star Mazda in 2010. I just feel a lot more confident. Knowing the fact that I can do it. And now I'm so focused on, I feel like after a year, I'm able to put together what I've learned pretty efficiently. And that's even one of the comments I got from the Lotus GP guys at the first test. They were saying, they were very impressed by what I was doing so far in the test, because I was able to, go through the data with those guys and make a lot of things happen, just from kind of identifying what I was doing and how I can improve, and immediately improving that. So I think it'll be good if I can just get everything sewn together and done for this year, and get myself in a good environment. I don't see any reason why I shouldn't be fighting for wins every weekend. I'm just really looking forward to it all starting.
Well, we all are. You've done a lot of testing now for Lotus GP, formerly ART, a championship winning team. You know how good they are. If you do go that route, there will be strong competition within the team. The ART always run a bunch of good drivers, 2 or 3 really quick guys, which is pressure for you. And indeed, the team itself has a great record. So that's pressure again. But on the other side of the coin, if you do go that route, they're obviously a good team.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the interesting thing for me is, it might be, it's pressure, but for me, I'm just, happy I'm able to be in be in an environment like that. I'd be really just, I'd kind of know that, I've got the tools around me to do what I need. Now I can do it. And again, I've only done a second year in Star Mazda, and for me, that was so good because, I was able to change teams, get with the best team, and execute what I learned, and it all went really, really well. So for me, I'm just kind of looking forward to do the same thing here. Is capitalize on everything that I learned from last year, and so far I've been able to do that, and I think I can see it in myself really that I've just I kind of approach the tests, with a more confident manner, and I know that the ART guys know what they're doing, and it's really helpful when you've got 2 other drivers who are very quick alongside you as well. Which for the test, Daniel Apton and Aro Vino, those are guys are, Vino's a second year guy like me, and Apt is a quick driver as well. So I think that's a huge part of why ART is successful, is because they've got, good teammates. And last year, that is something that I didn't have. And, no offense to those guys, but it was difficult trying to lead a team really when I had no experience on any of the circuits, any of the, in the culture, and anything really. So I'm just kind of looking forward to just a different environment and, a better suited environment really to try and win a championship.
Well, Connor, lots of fans over here. I'm sure you have in the States as well. And it's great. A young American out there on the world stage doing what you're doing. And very best of luck for you in 2012. We look forward to keeping up with what you're doing with conversations like this. We'd love to keep in touch with you. And all the best to your dad, too. How's your dad and your mum, for that matter? Are they both well?
Yeah, Peter, my mom said to tell you hello, and
Hi, Beth.
they're all doing well. So yeah, and other than that, it's been nice to be home and hang with the family. It'll be a long summer, so I'm just kind of getting in the family time while I can, and I'm just after that looking forward to it all starting. My dad's doing well. He's busy as ever. I don't think I've seen him this busy in a long time. I guess that's good. So it's all good, Peter. We're all ready for another year.
Good. Well, we look forward to seeing you back in the UK as soon as possible, and make sure you get in touch because we have the Globe
Oh yes.
cruiser board here for you, so you can have some fun with that.
Oh, don't worry. I haven't forgot about that. I'm ready to get it.
Great. Thanks, Connor. Great talking to you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Peter. I really appreciate it. I'm happy to do it anytime.